Hello, this video talks about a very important house, which is the eighth house. Now, the natural ruler of the eighth house is Mars, because the natural zodiac is Scorpio, where you see on the screen number 8 written. However, based on an individual's chart, the zodiac sign is going to be determined as to what zodiac sign rules that person's eighth house. Eighth house, as we know, is a Dusthana house or a Trik house, which is considered to be extremely inauspicious as per Vedic astrology. It's one of those inauspicious houses, 6, 8, and 12 in Vedic astrology. However, as per Vedic astrology, the significations of this house are, and the most important signification is longevity. And some people say death also is one of the indicators of this house, but how can death and longevity both be together at the same time? If a person is long lived, then he cannot die. So these are two contradictory things. However, some people may explain it that, okay, well, the eighth house will also explain the death of a person. That means if it's really afflicted, then death is indicated. And I would agree with that. But in a nutshell, longevity is more appropriate for this house. Also, this house represents your past life bad karma, not the good karma. Like the fifth house is the prarabdha, or the result of your past life bad or good karma. So it'll be the prarabdha, meaning that you will get the fruits of good karma which you have done in this life, or bad karma you have done in your past life, which will come as fruits or the bad effects of your bad karma if you've done in your past life in this lifetime. So fifth house is, I'm repeating it again, fifth house is again the fruits of either the bad or good karma which you have done in your past life, which will come into effect. That fruit of the bad or good karma which you've done in the bad in your past life will come in this life. So that is represented by the fifth house. However, the past life bad karma is represented by the eighth house. So there's a slight difference here. Eighth house, obviously, because it's one of those Dusthana houses or bad houses or trick houses. Also, along with longevity and past life bad karma, the eighth house also represents the hidden mysterious areas of life, like mysteries, occult sciences, tantra, psychic powers which people develop through practicing various sciences, which are mysterious sciences, which are not open to the normal people out there in the society. Kundalini power, that of course also is some kind of a mysterious power which all of us individuals have hidden in our bodies. So this is a hidden power, and the eighth house represents Kundalini power and the ways to empower your Kundalini through various practices. Also, other knowledge of secret sciences could be anything like pranic healing or Reiki. So these are all secret sciences, or I mean, they are getting more and more popular in this day and age. But most of the people, a majority of the people, are not they don't have the knowledge of these secret sciences. So we would still call them secret. Tantra, mantra, Kundalini, how to raise your Kundalini power, how to do stuff like pranic healing, and also Reiki, and other sciences. Also, another indicator of the eighth house is chronic diseases. Well, diseases, of course, we have studied can be determined from the sixth house. However, chronic diseases for which there is no treatment or cure easy, that will be covered under chronic, and it keeps coming back again and again, and there's actually no treatment or no cure for it, rather. And of course, this is linked to the past life bad karma, and that's why eighth house is linked very closely with the past life bad karma, and then hence chronic diseases, which is a result of the past life bad karma. Sufferings, tragedies. So overall, the eighth house is not a great house at all. I mean, makes sense. 6, 8, and 12, not great at all. Now, planets which are placed in the eighth house become afflicted. Of course, there are exceptions to this, and we'll discuss about those exceptions in our future videos because it's a long topic. And also, the lord of the eighth zodiac sign, so whichever becomes the eighth zodiac sign, or the zodiac sign which rules your eighth house, is bad. Generally, it is not a good zodiac sign, and it'll give all bad results related to, past life bad karma, chronic diseases, sufferings, tragedies, so on and so forth. So this explains what eighth house is, and also what things does the eighth house represent. Now, the sages have also explained what the eighth house is. Parashara, in his Hora Shastra, sage Parashara, he has also explained about the effects of the eighth house. And mostly he is explaining the eighth house related to longevity, a long life. And this is what he says about the eighth house. He says, if the eighth house lord is sitting in an angle which is 1, 4, 7, and 10, a long life is indicated. He's very clear about that. Generally, he says that if the Lagna Lord is very strong and receives an aspect from a benefic planet, and especially a benefic planet which is placed at an angle house, the person will be wealthy and long lived. So in general, this is how a longevity of a person is determined. Lagna is very closely associated with longevity, and also if the Lagna Lord is getting an aspect from a benefic, longevity, and more so if the benefic which is giving an aspect to the Lagna Lord is itself sitting in an angle house, that's even better. That's a general indication of long life. But more so, the eighth house in specific talks more about the longevity, as far as the longevity of a person is concerned. So eighth house is very closely associated with the longevity, other than the Lagna, which he has explained, or the Lagna Lord. Now, another thing which sage Parashara says is that in case the eighth lord or the eighth house lord joins the Lagna Lord or sits with the Lagna Lord, or a malefic, and be in the eighth house itself, then the native will not live long. So the condition is the eighth lord should sit with the Lagna Lord or another malefic in the eighth itself. Then the person will not live long. It's very easy. Just look at a chart, see where the Lagna Lord is. If the Lagna Lord is sitting in the eighth house along with the eighth house Lord itself, then it's a short life. Or even with a malefic. So one condition is the Lagna Lord should be sitting in the eighth with a malefic, or the second condition is if the Lagna Lord is sitting in the eighth with the eighth house lord. In both these conditions, the person will be short-lived. Now, another indication of a long life is in case the sixth lord is in the 12th, or if the sixth lord is in the 6th, or if the sixth lord and 12th lord are in the lagna, then there will be long life. That's also what Sage Parashara says. Another combination what Sage Parashara talks about is, and here again, we have to see all these combinations which Sage Parashara is mentioning, they are related to the eighth house. So eighth house definitely is an indicator of long life. Another combination which Sage Parashara is mentioning, if the lord of the 5th, 8th and the first house, again I'm repeating, the lord of the 5th and the 8th and the first house, these three lords are in their own zodiac signs or in their friendly zodiac signs or in their own navanchas, and we'll talk about the navanchas in our future videos, because navancha is related to the Varga charts or the divisional charts. But however, what he's saying is, Sage Parashara, the lord of the 5th and the lord of the 8th and the lord of the first either have to be in their own zodiac signs or in a friendly zodiac sign or in their own navanchas, which is considered auspicious. That person will have a long life. Again, he says that the person will be short-lived if the 8th lord is debilitated, while the 8th lord has a malefic sitting in it, and the first house, which is the ascendant house, does not have any strength. So let's remember this very important combination. If the 8th house lord is debilitated and the 8th house has a malefic sitting in it, and the ascendant or the lagna house does not have strength, and how will it not have strength is basically based on degrees, or the lord of the first house is not powerful, then the person will be having a short span of life. Very important combination. Another combination is in case the 8th house lord and the 12th house are all conjunct malefics. 8th house lord and the 12th house, all these three things, then there will be death immediately. He says death is going to be instant. So he is associating two important houses related to death, 8th and the 12th. But the condition is 8th house lord and the 12th house, all are conjunct malefics. The death is going to be instant in this case. Another combination which Sage Parashara mentions is that if the 5th and the 8th house and the 8th lord are all conjunct malefics, so just like the earlier house when he explains about the 8th and the 12th, this another combination brings into play the 5th house. So he says if the 5th house and the 8th house and the 8th house lord are all conjunct malefics, then the person will not live long. So one thing is common in all these things. 8th house is common in all these combinations which Sage Parashara is mentioning. So extremely important when we read a chart. 8th house, longevity. How's the 8th house placed? How's the 8th house lord placed? How is the 8th house itself? Does it have an aspect of a benefic or does it have an aspect of a malefic? And how is the 8th house lord placed? Is it sitting in a good sign, good rashi, or is it getting an aspect from a benefic, or is it getting an aspect from a malefic? All these are determining factors as far as longevity of a person is concerned. So in this combination, he says that in case the fifth and the eighth house and the eighth lord are all conjunct malefics, then the person will not live long. Another very interesting combination which Sage Parashara mentions, that if in a child's birth chart the eighth lord is sitting in the eighth itself, while moon is sitting with malefic planets, and it does not have any benefic planets aspect, then the child itself can lose his or her life. So again, I'll repeat, the condition is that the eighth house lord is sitting in the eighth house itself, and the moon is sitting with malefics, and there is no benefic aspect on the moon, then the child can die. So these are extremely important combinations, and we've studied the eighth house, and like I mentioned earlier, that Sage Parashara has associated the eighth house with longevity pretty much. However, there are other significations of the eighth house which we discussed earlier in this video. And that ends our discussion on the eighth house, and we will discuss on another topic in our coming video.